I grew up in a poor little neighborhood, in a small commute/farm town. The small duplexes were run down and painted with leftover paints from huge buckets. It was always a bluish gray or pinkish gray, pretty depressing colors that were mixed from many different paints. The parking lot was gravel and had much more potholes than cars, but at least the people there were tight-knit. While I was around 11, I met a little blonde girl named Angie. She was 9. I always thought she was cute because she had big round cheeks, like a chipmunk. She had the greatest smile that still brings a smile to my face when I think of it. She was an only child and living with her mom. That was all I really knew. When you're a kid, you don't ask many questions. But it wasn't long before we met her father. Her dad was a big, stocky man. I learned later he had been in and out of jail and prison, but the guy was crazy. He was loud and always angry. I remember him smashing windows and doors and cops at their house all the time. He was just a menace. I often wondered why the cops just didn't take him. I mean, he was a bad guy. A really bad man, but I guess people in those situations don't want to make it worse. I remember Angie started carrying a Bible, and sometimes I would see her kneeling in her backyard with it, praying or maybe talking to herself. I don't really remember her saying any prayers, but maybe I just don't remember anymore. Angie and I were talking one day and she turned to me and asked if her dad was the devil. I said no right away. She told me that her father would scream that he was going to kill the whole family. I didn't know what to say other than it sounded really scary. It just made me feel helpless that the police were there so often and nothing ever happened to the guy. So we just sat there, thinking and coming up with nothing. She went inside and I found her Bible outside. I took a look inside and many pages were scribbled on and ripped out. I placed it back on the backyard porch. One day I came home and they had moved. I went over to their apartment and looked in. There was nothing left. Nothing. Not even trash. They moved not very far away, but I never saw Angie again. Angie's father kidnapped her one day and crashed and drowned himself and her. He flipped a small car into a small dish and landed upside down. They both drowned in no more than 3 to 4 feet of water. It was horrible and sickening. I miss my friend that I only got to know very briefly, and she deserved so much better. She asked me if her dad was a devil. I said no. I still say no, but I firmly believe that her dad was evil and doing the devil's work. I miss you, Angie.